Welcome back to my channel, Healing with Kearra. I wanted to do one more reading tonight. Do like a karmic love reading. Those are kind of fun, and it's pretty fitting for the Venus retrograde. So we're going to use just like a portion of the Alleyman's tarot. Oh my gosh, sorry. But yeah, I just cut like a random chunk of the deck. And then we'll use these Karmic Confessions cards and some other oracle cards, just whatever I feel called. So I'll get a card for like the person on your mind or the person that you've dealt with, you, and then the karmic energy. And yeah, like read between you and your person, between the person and the karmic, between the karmic and you, just see all of the dynamics. And before I get started, I want to say I do live in an apartment, so sometimes there's like noise around me or below me, above me in the parking lot. I have a roommate, we have pets, so I'm sorry if there's any disruptions or noise. Okay, so you have your person, you have you, the viewer, and the karmic person here. Feeling like I should draw one more card for them. Ooh, so we have the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck and the Hermit. So there's an energy of what I'm getting from this, even just from this card, I'm just getting this energy of someone who's like isolating themselves away from something, with this person being like out of the house. And maybe going for a walk or something, but someone's like isolating themselves away from something because they're having a hard time not overly focusing on like what went wrong or what didn't work out for them here. And like they're trying to focus on like what what's still here, or like what they're passionate about or what's in front of them. They're trying to just move forward, but they're having a hard time not getting distracted or getting hung up on or focus on like something that fell apart or something that didn't work out. So right away, something I'm picking up is like they could still be like having feelings for you, or even if it's not like that, it's like they still have feelings about how this fell apart. They're still kind of like hung up in mourning like the loss here of how everything kind of turned around. And they're trying to focus on. So this could be like the karmic here is like there's still potential for something new or for them to be able to come together and create something they're really passionate about with someone. But they're having a hard time focusing, or they're having a hard time focusing on that and like shutting out um like what didn't work out in the past or what fell apart in the past. They're like having a hard time um not focusing on this, so they're trying to like isolate themselves or get themselves out of the house so they don't go stir crazy, or just like go for walks, get a breath of fresh air. um this looks like an alpaca on their chest. I know it's probably not, but I don't know why I'm just getting like go get like a breath of fresh air in nature rather than yeah, just like going stir crazy or going nuts in the house. There's also all this smoke coming out, so it's like this could be getting hot in here. Like there could be something that they're wanting to avoid. Like yeah, there's a lot of like um okay, so like with these cups, there is fire here, there is passion here on something else that they're trying to get themselves to focus on, but it's almost like too much. It's almost like, yeah, they have to like take a time out and distance themselves from it because it's like gets overwhelming, or they feel like they can't breathe. It's not necessarily like things are on fire around them, but it's like things are just so hot and like uncomfortable that there's like so much smoke. Like whenever you're cooking and you're not ventilating anything, and the smoke gets so thick and it's like so uncomfortable to be in the house. That's the type of energy that's like brewing in the house between these two people. So it's almost like smothering here. And so it's like they need to check out and like take a break and go for a walk and get like a breath of fresh air here. Um, and it's like they're getting triggered and having a hard time not focusing on this, so they're trying to just like go for a walk and like get this out of their head, or like they're still in the midst of like trying to process through some feelings here. So yeah, this is like smothering them here though. It's like almost too much. Yeah, it's like they feel claustrophobic, they don't know how to breathe here, so they feel like they need to kind of like get out, separate themselves, clear their head is what I'm hearing. So they're kind of like isolating. Um, I just am seeing how this wheel is literally going straight into the third eye of this person. So yeah, they feel like they need to kind of like isolate, detach, go for breaks, go for walks by themselves to like clear their head and think. And yeah, they just feel like overwhelmed and suffocated. So they feel like they need to just like take a break or just like have a moment for themselves, in order to be able to like really figure out how they truly feel. They feel so like back and forth and caught up between like trying to let go of like something that didn't work out here and like trying to move forward and be like focus on this and be really excited and be really passionate about this, but then it's almost like too much, it's smothering, it's overwhelming, so then they feel like they just need to totally isolate and be alone altogether. um but then yeah, there's something that's like with the way that the water is coming out here is making me think of like they're having a hard time not like when they're isolating, they're almost getting emotional here, and they're having a hard time not like having like really intense feelings, or like yeah, they could be like crying and they don't want like someone else to see it is another thing I'm hearing. So that's just the bottom of the deck energy. So that's just something we're getting so far. With the tree line here too, I'm also hearing just like isolate themselves away from everything or what they would normally do, or just like totally go out in the middle of nowhere here and really try to clear their head. So we have the death card here. So this is one of the death cards in this deck. So with this card, it's like death comes sweeping over in the night. And there's like nothing to stop it here. It's like this really passionate thing. So it's like whether this person likes it or not, like whenever they relax or whenever they try to like unwind or just sleep. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm hearing like when they try to go to sleep at night, they're being like inundated and attacked here. It's like forcing them into some sort of change. They feel so uncomfortable um anytime they try to like just rest and relax, it's like this, yeah, they're being like ushered into this change here because they're so uncomfortable with the way things are right now. Like I was saying, it's like they can't breathe here. They feel like they're like suffocating. So they're being like pushed in this direction to make a change here. They're becoming more and more uncomfortable in the situation here. Um, Whatever this is here with this house, it's like if they're trying to force it at all, it's like they're becoming more and more uncomfortable. Um, and they're being like, yeah, like whether they like it or not, there's like this energy sweeping over them that's kind of like telling them that they need to make a change or that they maybe need to go. Like they keep on going for these like walks and kind of processing themselves here, but it's like there's something kind of telling them that like maybe this isn't right and they need to go, or they need to like swiftly remove themselves from the situation. Like something's telling them this isn't really a healthy environment for them because they can't really breathe or think straight, or um yeah, they just like uh it's just this overwhelming, suffocating, like, yeah, all they just feel like every like whatever they're taking in when they're in that environment, like the smoke, um energetically, whatever they're taking in, whatever that represents, they feel like it's not good for them, or it's like fogging their brain, or it's like messing with them negatively, or affecting their ability to like think for themselves or like think clearly. It's like they feel like they should be focusing on this, but then um it's like so intense that they're being like forced into like more and more uncomfortable position here. They're being like forced into like a change here to kind of realize like, okay, maybe this is actually not for them. Even if this didn't work out here, this is still not for them. Or like if this didn't work out, maybe there's something they could actually do here, because they're really hung up on this emotionally. It's like they can't really let this go. So this could have to do with like the change. um yeah, they're being like yeah, I'm just hearing is like whatever they're taking in this environment here, they're realizing it's not good for them. They're being like pushed. They were trying to maybe use it as their comfort zone in order to like mourn something here, and then it's like they're being pushed out of their comfort zone, whether they like it or not, right? It's like anytime they try and like relax or catch a breath here, just kind of like, yeah, even like sleep peacefully, they're being like, there's this uncomfortability being like shoved over them. um yeah, it's something kind of like kind of pushing at them and like nagging at them here, and really forcing them into a position where they feel like they need to make a change in like the environment or the situation if it's like not good for them, and they have like no choice, right? So right away we have the Nine of Wands. So this person here is like weary of speaking their truth because they've kind of been through like a battle here. Um, there's this level of kind of like paranoia, if you will, because it's like you're still healing and gathering strength from something that you like had to kind of like encounter here. It could have came in swiftly and unexpectedly. So we also have the Eight of Coins, and it's like crushing this person here. So um what I'm getting from this is like you're in this, okay, you're in this energy of kind of like silence towards the situation. Like in the past, this could have been really, really heavy for you. This could have really weighed on you. This really like this could have like crushed you or just like pinned you down emotionally, where you felt really debilitated by this situation. It took a lot out of you. Like it could have kind of like depleted your reserves here, or you could have just felt like you were lacking when you came out of the situation, or there was just something overwhelming around you that was kind of like crushing you here, that it it could have felt like you would never be able to get up and move on from this because of like some sort of financial weight or some sort of financial burden. It like there was some sort of ruin that you went through, or some sort of something that like really forced you into like a certain position here where you were super pinned down or restricted. You couldn't really make a lot of moves. So like you could have acquired a lot of debt from this situation, or it's like somehow you really got screwed over in some way. Um, and it really weighed on you. So yeah, it could have like messed up your credit, messed up your ability to move forward. Like it just did something specific here to where you were kind of like pinned down in this specific position. And so it could have taken you a lot of work to be able to climb out of this, or to like overcome this here. You had to kind of like gather a lot of strength, or yeah, you just had to work really, really hard to be able to move forward from this situation. And so now it's kind of just put you in this energy of silence and just protecting your energy. Like you have this kind of paranoid, it's like you don't want to get hurt again, and you're still recovering um from whatever happened the last time. So it's like you're not really trying to open yourself up or be vulnerable here at all, right? But yeah, so it's like you're still recovering like physically, like with the bandages here. It's like it could be like physically and emotionally, right? But then it also could be like financially, like in your life, you're still trying to like recover and rehabilitate your life. Because, yeah, this could have just like set you back because you were held down or restricted by something that was kind of like looming over your head, that it was like really, really hard to work through in some way. So now you're kind of like paranoid. You don't want to be super open or vulnerable, or like you don't have a lot to say here. You really want to protect yourself and protect your peace and not get like caught up or hung up like this in the future. That's like the energy that you're kind of in right now, right? And your person's going through this like really dramatic change or upheaval, like possibly against their will, or just getting really uncomfortable in their environment, right? So the karmic here, we have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, your karmic could be like a water sign, um, Panther, Panther, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or yeah, it's been a few times I used this deck, and this card came out as like a karmic or like a third party. So another thing I'm hearing is like, okay, I just randomly heard mother. So in this specific reading, the karmic or the third party here could be someone's mom, or like a mother figure, or like an aunt or a sister or a cousin. Or okay, this person could have um been resistant to the karmic, but then there was like a mother figure, or yeah, some sort of like older female figure around them that they looked up to, like emotionally here, for like advice, that encouraged them to like let their guard down and let this karmic in here with the Four of Pentacles. Very, very interesting. So let's use this little deck to get some clarity. I feel pretty clear about the energy with you here, but let's get one more card for the other person and the karmic energies. So we have the King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, we're just looking for like more clarity on what this change is all about. We have the Nine of Pentacles. So it's like, okay, what I'm getting is like they're trying to force themselves to be really emotionally satisfied or emotionally fulfilled in a situation here. But yeah, I just kept picking up on this like uncomfortability. It's like they can't breathe, they feel smothered, they feel suffocated, they feel claustrophobic, they feel like they have to get out, get some fresh air. They can't relax, they can't sleep, they just feel so uncomfortable. And it's like increasing more and more and more. They feel just like more and more intense. So it's like the more they try and shove this down and just like find emotional fulfillment or be like satisfied or convince themselves like this is what you wanted, or you're satisfied with this makes you happy, you're happy with this. That was repetitive, but um, you know, this is everything you asked for. Like they're trying to convince themselves they really are enjoying something or somewhere that they're at in their lives, and it's this energy of it's like they're being forced more and more to recognize the energy that's around them or that's moving over them here, whatever they're actually taking in this environment, like how much it's actually affecting them, why they really feel like they need to um, just like go get space and clear their head so often here, like why they're struggling um, between all this other stuff here so much, or why they feel like they need to kind of like isolate and be alone. Because it's like, oh yeah, the Nine of Cups is also kind of like an emotionally independent energy. So it's like they're trying to be really fulfilled and satisfied and happy, but it's like they can't find a way to, like, they just feel as though they should be by themselves. They're having a hard time like connecting like one cup to the other. Like when they connect one cup to the other, it almost creates like too much smoke here. It's like both of these cups coming together is like what's creating the situation to be too consumed with smoke. It's like too much to where then they have to, it's like they need to kind of remove themselves because it becomes too overwhelming. So it's like they're realizing that the more they try and force this here, be like, oh, this is what you wanted, this is exactly what you were looking for, they're like being forced into a position where they have to realize like they actually need to focus on themselves and their emotional independence, and like what's actually going to work for them, and yeah, be like conducive for their satisfaction or making them happy or filling them up. Yeah, they're like being forced to kind of look at like themselves as a singular person, or like, yeah, like what is really working for them, what makes them happy, what makes them feel satisfied, um, like what they want. So yeah, what I'm getting here with the karmic energy is yeah, with this Queen of Cups, I'm just really hearing that it's like this was someone that influenced them. Because yeah, I pulled one of these cards and then I was like, I was feeling like I should pull another one, and this one came out first, and so then I was just kind of hearing like I should pull another one, and I feel like that's because this one is like is not the karmic person. It's someone else around them that influence them to let their guard down and to like take a chance here. So we have the Fool clarifying. So yeah, there's someone around them that kind of like emotionally manipulated them to feel like this is what they wanted to do, or this was the direction they wanted to go in. Like, yeah, kind of manipulated them to let their guard down and be open here to just kind of like jump into something or dive into something. This other person, what I'm hearing is this Queen of Cups thought if they could just kind of convince this person that this is what they wanted, and yeah, to like kind of lower their guard to this and just open themselves up to this Queen of Cups thought if they just dove into this and they just went all in for it here, like the Fool just like didn't even question it and just kind of like blindly just dove all in, or just went all in into the situation. They thought that your person would be like satisfied, or your person would just kind of like go along with it, is what I'm hearing. Like they just thought as soon as they just jumped into it, then they would realize like this is what they wanted, or this is what was going to make them happy, and then they would just go on that path, or just kind of like go along with it here. um but it's like actually not making this person happy here. It's like with the death card, it's like more and more they're being kind of forced into a situation where they have to actually reflect upon themselves and like what do they really want and what would really make them satisfied, what do they really actually like need here, like what do they actually individually want, because it's like they keep trying to like bring this together and then it's like not working. It's like creating a situation that's literally like toxic and unhealthy for them, like with what they're taking in around them, like metaphorically with the smoke. And so it's like they keep having to kind of like isolate and separate and like literally like talk themselves into like wanting to focus on this. So more and more they're realizing like maybe this is actually not in alignment with what I want, or maybe this is actually not satisfying me emotionally. So it's like more and more they're getting more, like I was saying, it's like the more they try to just like relax and unwind and just like ease into the situation and just like let it be really comfortable and natural. And um you know those certain partners that you have whenever it's like it's just not right, and it's like it feels kind of awkward and uncomfortable to even like sleep next to them, like you can't really get a good night's sleep. And then there's certain people that um and even when you're in those situations, it makes you think about like people in the past where you were able to get a really good night's sleep. Like there's certain people that it's like not even like intimate type of stuff at all, but just like literally sleeping in a bed next to someone or cuddling or whatever. Like there's certain people that it's like you just fit together with really nicely, or you just have similar breathing patterns when you sleep, or your energies soothe each other or whatever, and it's like you just sleep really really soundly and really nice with those people. And then there's other people that it's not like that. It's like the vibes are all off, you feel uneasy, like every little movement that they make like throws you off. Like I've had partners where like just the sound of like their breathing like woke me up and like bothered me. So it's like something was like off, you know. But then yeah, there's like other you can just, you know what I mean. I'm sure I'm if this resonates with you, then you understand what I'm trying to get at here. So yeah, it's like the more they try to relax and just like ease into the situation, it's like this energy sweeps over them where they're just like they feel like they have to make some sort of a change because they're realizing it's not actually um, what they wanted for themselves, even though they're trying to convince themselves that it is, or they're realizing that like they're not actually able to be emotionally satisfied here because they're still struggling with like trying to mourn through all of this here. But yeah, even like right before I flipped over the Fool card, I think I literally said it's like they're starting to like the change they're having to make is they're starting to have to look at like how do they really feel and what is it that they actually want, because they were definitely um like persuaded, or they were like emotionally manipulated by someone who was close to them here, like a feminine energy who was close to them, to like lower their guard here, to be like open to starting something new. Like I said, they thought if they just dove into this Queen of Cups kind of had it in mind, like, because there's not even a specific card coming through for the karmic person. Like, the karmic person isn't, energy isn't even coming through right now. And so, what I'm getting is it's like not even about whoever the karmic is in this situation here. It doesn't even matter. Like, they don't even necessarily matter. Like, this Queen of Cups just thought if they just convince them to start in anything, or to dive into anything, or to just kind of like take a start, or yeah, have a new fresh start in any direction. They just thought if they just dove into it, this Queen of Cups person really genuinely believed that then they would just go along with it, or they would just find their happiness, or then they would be able to like let go of whatever happened here, or like move on. Um, which is kind of weird. So it's like they maybe didn't even necessarily care who it was. They were just kind of like trying to convince this person to be like open to someone, or to like let their guard down, or to not like hang on to something here, hold back, or yeah, like hold themselves back, or be like defensive because of the past. Like they just thought if they were yeah to just throw themselves out there, go all in with something new, then they would just realize like they didn't really care about that other situation, or there's other things out there, and they would just move forward and just continue on with their journey. And it would, that other, like, you would be just like in the past, right? um so that could be part of like what like hurt you so bad and like crushed you so much, is because there's definitely like this Queen of Cups energy here that was like specifically influencing this person on an emotional level to like lower their guard and just like dive into something new here. But they didn't even care who it was. Like they didn't even have a strong desire. So whoever the karmic is, like this is a general reading, so whoever's watching this, like whoever the karmic is in your situation, they just so happen to be at the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time, however you want to look at it. They just so happen to fit the bill though, right? Like they just happen to be there and just happen to be down, and they could just like have the same like fire energy here as your person. And yeah, they just like I don't know, it's such an interesting, because I'm not really getting anything specific on the karmic. So it's like there's nothing really to them, or nothing specific about them that your person was drawn to. It was just like, yeah, maybe they were just like there or available, or also interested in them, or maybe this Queen of Cups just like thought, yeah, it could have been a part of the influence of the Queen of Cups. Like, yeah, with I'm seeing like the spiral here. It's like this person was just kind of conjuring up like anyone around them that they could kind of like summon into their like plan here. And this other person just happened to be like, this karmic person just happened to be in this Queen of Cups like orbit here. And so she was able to somehow like encourage your this person like emotionally to like lower their guard and just like start something new here. And it just so happened to be um the karmic who was like around, or like in her orbit, and like yeah got like caught up in this situation like inadvertently somehow. So I'm not getting a lot of information on them specifically, but I feel like that's like meant to be like, that's yeah, that gave me like some its own context in its own way. So very interesting energy. Um, let's get something from the key oracle here. Love redefined. Cupid has entered your heart and has awakened you to love and romance, but this time on a different vibration. Having a newfound love for yourself has created opportunity for a new chapter with possibilities to cultivate healthy relationships. So that's the bottom of the deck. So yeah, with this having a newfound love for yourself has created opportunity for a new chapter with possibilities to cultivate healthy relationships. I feel like, yeah, you got really hurt and you felt really stuck by this situation, but it nonetheless, you still chose to like protect yourself with the Nine of Wands. You still chose to defend yourself no matter how painful this was. and you worked really, really hard to be able to move forward and move out of this. And so, yeah, having those strong, healthy boundaries for yourself could kind of call in something new for you, moving forward, because then you're setting like a whole new vibration for yourself, just with like the level of work that you had to do. So that just creates like a whole level of self-respect that you now radiate out into the world, right? It's like people can see like how much you've overcome. I'm also getting, it's like there's like, um if you have a more like quiet observant energy now, people see like a wisdom in it. They can see like the battles, or like how much you've had to overcome, or how strong you've had to be, how hard you've had to work to get out from underneath certain things or to overcome certain things. And so, um that's going to be like really, really attractive to people who are looking for someone who just wants like a healthy relationship with someone who's like on the same path as them, is just like doing the inner work, and yeah, just like trying to be the best they can be here. Yeah, I'm getting, it's like they just really see you as like wise here for the way you choose to kind of like approach situations now. um yeah, and the fact that you're not like so vocal and outspoken and open about everything, it's this mystery that draws people into you to kind of want to know more, want to know how you did it, or how you overcame certain things, or how you gathered the strength to endure certain situations. Or it's like not everything is kind of like out there broadcasted with you, but you can clearly see that you've had to overcome a lot, or that, yeah, you're a really strong person. And so that level of like mystery really draws people in to like want to get to know more about you, or um they see how hard you had to like invest in yourself here. So yeah, that's just helping you like draw yourself closer towards a healthy relationship that's going to really match your vibration. Self care, balance. Taking time to replenish your mind, body, and soul is a must. Enjoy this time to reconnect and make yourself a priority. Ask yourself, what is serving me and what is taking from me? Much can be revealed when you stop putting yourself at the bottom of the list. I also want to get one of these cards to see what's going on with the Queen of Cups here. This is the Sacred Symbols Oracle. Ooh, we have New Moon at the bottom of the deck. Ooh, magic. So what I'm getting from this is like this person they tried to step in and help, or they tried to be like, oh, this is like what's good, this is the secret, or this is how you can kind of help yourself move forward or overcome something. Um, yeah, with the magic though, I'm getting this similar to like the magician type of energy. It's like, um, coming in and presenting themselves like they know it all, or like they have this secret, or like, yeah, you should like follow me or take my advice, but it's kind of like this surface level trick here, or this surface level like, it comes with the price, or like, yeah, it's only like so deep here. It's like, um there's not as much substance here to this like line of thinking, or this type of advice, or this way that this person was thinking they were helping out. And so that's why it's kind of like falling flat or falling short, or this person's realizing that it's not actually emotionally fulfilling them here. It's like there wasn't any substance behind like the advice, right? Or the way that they told them to go about things, or the way they told them to like invest in something else, didn't actually like fulfill them or give back to them the way that they thought. Or there's something here where it was like a trick or an illusion, or it only went so deep, or it's like it didn't really work for them, or like actually, like, yeah, this Queen of Cups was like, oh, this is like the miracle trick to help you just like get over this, right? Or um to like turn things around for yourself and make everything better. And so this other person just kind of like went for it and put their guard down and just like dove into this here. And then now they feel like trapped, suffocated, like they constantly feel like they need to kind of isolate themselves to catch a breath here and be able to like think for themselves. And so um, it just like didn't turn out to be what they thought or what it appeared to be like on the surface. Even though it seemed like the other person was like helping so much or pushing them towards like such a good opportunity. So we're going to get a few cards to see what they would say to you, the truth within. Our conversations have left a lasting effect and cannot get them off of my mind. So yeah, it's like they constantly have to like isolate themselves to clear their head because they can't stop thinking about like the way something fell apart or the way something went here. They could be thinking about like your positive conversations and that triggers them and makes them sad, but then they could also be thinking about like the way things went wrong or how things went sour or south or how they made you cry or made you sad or how things made them sad or how it made them sad to make a certain choice here. So it's like they can't, yeah, it's like a permanent lasting like thing in their head. They're having a hard time like letting it go. Or anytime, it's like anytime they try to like relax again, anytime they try to relax or unwind or just like, yeah, I'm just seeing like anytime they try to just like kick back on the couch and relax and just like cuddle with the karmic or go to sleep at night and cuddle or just like those more subtle, um, it's like they're just like really really struggling and having a hard time. They're just so anytime they go to like just totally relax and unwind and just like kick back, then it's like that very uncomfortable feeling sets in here where there's like so much other stuff on their mind and they can't actually, it's like it gives them anxiety to try to like shut all of this stuff out and like let all of this go and just like relax. And so then this feeling like creeps over them here. And it's like they can't even like sleep or like really fully like relax and like get comfortable wherever they're at. So it's like if they're trying to hang out like at the karmic's house or whatever, it's like they literally are like so uncomfortable here. They're like struggling, like they constantly feel like they need to like leave and isolate themselves, and it's just like really difficult for them or it's like not working for them somehow. um whoops whoops I feel the only way to forget you is to distract myself with work, hobbies, and friends. So yeah, anytime this comes up and they get like these thoughts and feelings, it's like they want to isolate themselves. It's like they'll get like triggered and just like I'm seeing this picture of them just like going outside, going for a walk by themselves, just kind of like trying to um figure it out here. But anytime this comes up, like these thoughts or these emotions or these feelings of with you of how things went wrong in the past year, um, they just try to throw themselves into like these distractions. And so this karmic could have been like one of these distractions, but then it's like anytime they try to truly relax and enjoy it, then um yeah, like I keep saying, that uncomfortability creeps in. But yeah, they keep trying to fight this. Like every time this energy comes up of just like really worrying about like how everything went here, how everything fell apart, how everything went sour, how it didn't work out, then they really try to like throw themselves into this here. But it's like they are really struggling because then the more they throw themselves into this, it creates such a like an intense, passionate, like hot environment that it's like toxic. Like it's like too much. It's almost like too much of what they would want, or like it's like too much passion. It's like too much of what they're looking for. It like turns them off and like overwhelms them and like smothers them. And like I said, it's like they can't breathe, they can't think, like they just feel like literally overwhelmed. You were by far the best person in my life, and it took me this long to realize it. So, yeah, now that they're trying to move on here, it's like this could be um, becoming more and more like apparent and obvious here. Even if they kind of did know it like before, I feel like maybe going through the situation, or like fully diving into the situation and trying to make this work for themselves here, like fully letting them their guard down here, and like opening themselves up to something new, is just like really highlighting this even more, like really solidifying or clarifying the way that they see you, or the way they saw you in their life or something here. So now we're gonna get a few cards to see what the karmic would say to you. So that's kind of like an interesting energy. It's like maybe this, as soon as I said that last part, I kind of had this thought of like maybe for some people that like hope to like end up back together with this person in the future, maybe this is a good thing that they finally like let their guard down and just like dove all in with this other person, because again, it's like it doesn't really matter who it was specifically. It was just kind of like anyone. It could have been anyone. um but yeah, it's like because because they chose to do this, it's almost like triggering them so much, and again making them so uncomfortable, like I said. um yeah, that it's like really, like I said, it's really solidifying the way that they see you or saw you in their life, or the way they saw your all's relationship together. Or it's like now they have something to compare it to, and so they're realizing like what did actually make them happy here, or what did actually satisfy them, what they really do want. So it's like this other person is having less and less control here. It's like before, this other person was able to say all this stuff, and this other person hadn't really moved on or opened themselves up to something new, so they didn't have any like comparison to really know if this person knew what they were talking about or not. But now that they like actually really like went all in and like went for it, and like put themselves in like a certain position here, then I feel like that's why they have like the death card showing up for them, is because it's like uh it's, yeah, fully forcing them into a position, or like fully solidifying, um like I said, like the way they see you or the way they saw you in their life. Whereas before, maybe this Queen of Cups could kind of come in and like influence their thinking, or influence their memories, or the way that they think about certain things, or associate certain things in your relationship, or influence you. Like before, they could kind of influence you to be like, oh well, once you move on, or once you find someone else, or you won't even think about them, or you won't even care about them. Like once you just like let your guard down and just kind of like dive in here, and like, yeah, open yourself up to something new, or be willing to give to someone else, or just be willing to start over and like actually fully go for it and go all in, then you won't even care about that person anymore. It's like you're just hung up on them right now. Like they were able to really have a lot of control or hold over that person's emotional state, and convince them of like which direction they should go in, or how they should go about things, right? And so now that they are going through the situation for themselves, and they're realizing like this isn't making them happy, or they don't feel satisfied, it doesn't feel right, they can't relax, um, they can't breathe. It's like they can't even really think. Like I was saying, it's just like everything is so thick around them, they can't even really see anything when they submerge themselves in this. And so it's actually having the opposite effect on them, as this Queen of Cups was saying, right? It's like now that they're going through the situation for themselves, it's actually having the opposite effect in their lives and on their emotional state. And so it could be something that kind of triggers them to wake up here to realize, um, like not to like get so caught up in like what other people have going on around them, or like other people's perception of things, or it's like they gave a little bit too much emotional power, to this person or over them in regards to this person. And so yeah, it could be the like the catalyst to them kind of like bringing a balance here and not letting other people influence their emotional state so much, or the way that they like give to others, or like show up for things, or whether or not they pursue certain things or not. It's like, yeah, like I was saying, it's like it's actually having the exact opposite effect on them in their life, and it's pushing them in the exact opposite direction than, yeah, they're having the opposite realizations that they were told that they would if they just kind of like dove into it and went all in. And so it's really highlighting that maybe this Queen of Cups doesn't necessarily always know what they're talking about, or they shouldn't necessarily just like blindly follow someone, but like it could be like someone close to them, like a mother or someone they really looked up to or respected here. So it's like, um, real quick before we get one of those cards, let's get one T card to see what's happening here. But yeah, like for those of you that want to like see yourself back with this person in the future, like um this could be like a good thing here, because then basically, because this person's going through this situation for themselves and they're realizing all this stuff or seeing all this stuff for themselves, is causing them to kind of like wake up here, or go through this inner transformation, or see everything in kind of like a different light. And so now it's like if this Queen of Wands has influenced a lot of other things, or a lot of other ways of their thinking, or other aspects of your guys' relationship, or at the time when you guys were together, if this person had a lot of like control over the way that they saw things, or the way that they emotionally reacted to certain things in the relationship, it's like now this person is going to be in this, when they're like breaking away and going on these little walks, they're going to be in this reflective energy of being like, okay, if they were wrong about this, or yeah, if they like, um if this isn't right, then uh maybe they were wrong about like, it's like with the wheels here, it's like they're realizing like their perception or their perspective on like other things in the past could have also, they're like starting to question them here in regards to like a lot of other things that have also happened. So it's like if this person had a huge influence over the way that they felt, or just like their emotional state in regards to this here, yeah, this person could just be kind of waking up, or now then questioning that, right? Now they're kind of like, okay, well, if they didn't really know what they were talking about, or they didn't really know how I would feel, or they were wrong about that, like making me happy or being able to move forward, now they're kind of questioning like, um, should I have went with like my own feelings all along here? Like there could have been certain situations with your relationship in the past where like they felt a certain way about it, but then this Queen of Cups was kind of like telling them that they needed to feel differently, or that the situation was differently, and they just like chose to go along with it. But now they're starting to like think about that or see that differently, because um this situation is like not working out for them, or not going the way that they were like led to believe that it would here in some way. So yeah, now they're like going back and questioning like all of the times they took this person's advice, or like um they're questioning like certain things or reactions that they had in the past, like was that really like what they wanted, or were they being kind of like emotionally led here by this person? Or yeah, with the spirals, like were they being like emotionally manipulated to think that they were feeling a certain type of way and to have certain emotional reactions, or is that how they actually felt? Like now they're starting to kind of like question things, is what I'm hearing. So yeah, that's why they're like isolating. There's like all the smoke around them becomes so much. It's like they can't even think, and they need to like isolate and like go for a walk and like clear their head. And it's like the more they do that, the more they realize like a lot of this like falling apart and spilling over here could have been because of like other people influencing their emotions. Um and then them like pursuing this here, even though it's not great for them, could have been because of like that same influencing of the passions, right? And it's like they feel like they've just been kind of like led around from one direction to another, like kind of like a puppet on a string here. um so yeah, they're waking up to a lot of situations in the past, like was I being kind of like emotionally controlled here, or like emotionally manipulated to think that I felt a certain type of way, or that I wanted certain things, or that certain things made me feel a certain type of way. Okay, let's get a little bit of tea here. Ooh, movie date. And we also have tired of drama that flew out over it. So this could be like your person, like if there's a lot of like, say this is a very passionate environment here, with the fires, like this karmic person could be like a lot of drama, or they could be someone who's like really fired up here, really likes to kind of like get them going. Literally just being tired of drama. It's like being mentally exhausted here. So yeah, like all of this smoke and all of this stuff here could just be kind of like toxic vibes, or like this other person could just be into like some lower level. um it's like they get so fired up and so passionate here that it's like almost too much, and it's like overly dramatic. And they're kind of like that a lot, and so it just kind of creates like a lot of unnecessary conflicts, or it's like they're unnecessarily get worked up about like other people when it has nothing to do with them, and so it's like they're constantly creating drama around them even if it's not in their life. So it's kind of like really consumes your energy to be around them for too long, or it's like yeah, it gets like hard to breathe like staying in their house because they're constantly up in there like talking about other people's business, or just like it's like they get too fired up, or it's like they do too much in some way. um so it's like they're already over it. Your person's like already over it. It's like they're having a hard time. It's like too much. um so yeah, maybe they want to like ask you out on a movie date, or another thing I'm getting is like maybe they tried to just like take this person out on like a simple movie date here, and it turned into like this huge drama somehow. And they're just like over it, so they're like they wish they could just like have a person to just like take out on like simple movie dates, or just go out on like simple movie nights, and there just be like no drama or no issues. um but yeah, it's like maybe like they could just generally want that, right? And this person's like drama, so they're over it. Or they tried to go on some sort of movie or some sort of date with this person, and it just ended up being this big old huge drama, so they're like over it now. Or this person being super dramatic and just like focused on drama in other people's lives all the time is such a contrast to your energy, to the viewer's energy here. So it's like really making them think about like all the times when you guys would just go out and have fun and just focus on each other, and just like have a little date night, and just like yeah, it was just like all about you guys, and you could just really enjoy each other's company here. And you could just like focus on like the popcorn and the tea. It was like focus on the movie, right? It wasn't like, whereas with this karmic person, it's like they like to pull out the popcorn and like focus on like other people's lives, like talk about other people's lives, gossip about other people's lives, like just engage in that really toxic drama. And it's like they used to be able to go out and just have like more carefree fun times with you, where you guys both just really genuinely enjoyed each other's company, like I was saying. And they maybe can't do that with this person because it's like such a huge drama, or they're so focused on drama, that they don't really just like go out and enjoy themselves like that. And so now they're really missing that, or they're thinking about when they did that with you, or they wish they just like had a partner where they could just go do stuff like that with. They're like so over this here. Um, we also have investigating underneath that. And so I just heard like they could be like investigating you, like secretly trying to like investigate you online, or like kind of stalk you online to see what you're doing here. So now they could be kind of like thinking about you. Like I said, like something with this other person's energy is like making them think about like the fun carefree times when you guys were able to just focus on each other, enjoy each other's energy, do like mindless things but still have a really good time here. So they're kind of like investigating you to see like where you're at or what you're doing. It's like really triggering them to think about you, so then they're up here like searching you up or stalking you up, or if you feel like someone's kind of like checking your profiles anonymously or something, or just trying to like anonymously like kind of tap and figure out like what's going on with you. Like it could be this person here, you could be right about that. Sports player into games. So that could be part of the drama here, is they're realizing that like this karmic person is super into games here, and it's like they didn't realize they were so much of like a player, or they were so into that, like, or they were so invested. I'm getting like it's like they are so invested into drama in like other people's lives that it's almost like they click on the TV, and it's almost like to them it's like a pastime. It's like sitting around talking about other people's lives is like the same thing as like other people who just turn in for like a sports game. It has something to do with like the way they compete with others, is like they really involve themselves in this drama, or it has to do with like the certain games that they play, is like they're all about, yeah, they could play certain games in the relationship that start drama, or they just like focus on other people's drama is a like way to like play games in their own relationships. It's like something weird here, some weird dynamics where this other person feels like they get like caught up in it, and they have no choice but to like engage, and it like exhausts their energy. And they didn't realize, as soon as I saw this card, the first thing I heard is like they didn't realize before that this person was like a player or like into these types of games. And so it's really like just like it immediately exhausted them, because they're just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, they were kind of caught off guard by this. Like they didn't realize they were going to be so caught up in like so much back and forth here. It's like already tiring them or exhausting them. We also have setting the record straight. So yeah, they could be like, with this Queen of Cups here, they could be in the process of trying to figure out how to like set the record straight with this person and let them know like, hey, you're not going to have so much influence over like my emotional state here, and like the way that I'm thinking, um in regards to my emotions. Or it's just like, yeah, it could just kind of be like too much here. Like they're having to, like with the death card here, it's like they're in a position where they're being forced to make some sort of a change. And so it's putting them in this position of like setting the record straight here, or like kind of fixing something. Um, so yeah, like with the Fool, if they just like dove all into this here, or if they made like a huge investment into this, like with the house, like if they, like I said before, like if they're trying to like stay at this person's house, and like they just kind of like dove all into this, the karmic could feel as though they have a lot of like power in the situation, or the Queen of Cups could feel like either one of them or both of them could feel as though they have a lot of like power in this person's life, and so that's why they feel so comfortable or confident to like start so much drama or play certain games or do certain things. It's like they feel like they have a lot of like access or power to this person because of the way that this person kind of just like dove in and like went all into the situation here. So yeah, they could feel like more and more they're being pushed into this feeling like they need to kind of like set the record straight, which I'm seeing as like kind of like stand up for themselves or like insert, it's like once they kind of figure out like, okay, what is it that I actually want here, like what is it that's going to satisfy me, like what is it that I actually want, right? um then it's like they're going to have to go out and like set the record straight here, because right now they're kind of doing what other people have convinced themselves that they want, or what other people have convinced them that they want, I mean. And so they could be kind of like living a lie right now. They like went all in on something that wasn't really genuine to them, and it's like they tried their best here to like make it work. But eventually it's like more and more they're being pushed to like make this transformation here, or like make this change here. Like I was saying, it's like the more they try and relax and ease into it and just like be happy with it, it's like they're just more and more uncomfortable. They're being pushed here to make some sort of change. So they could be being pushed in this direction of being forced to kind of like set the record straight here on how they really feel, like what's really going on with them, what really works for them, like realizing this is actually really toxic for them. Like all of this passion here, like this way this karmic works here, this energy that they're putting out around them, it's like this metaphorical smoke that's like all around them. It's like so thick here, it's like they can't actually like breathe or think, or it's like not actually good for them or healthy or like what they thought it would be. And so it's like pushing them or forcing them into this position of like having to really set the record straight here on like what's really going on, or yeah, how they really feel, like what's really working for them, what they really want. It's like they're gonna have to, with the record I'm getting, it's like they're gonna have to like go publicly or like go on record here, or like really like somehow broadcast in a way to like really let people know like the truth, or like yeah, they're gonna somehow like maybe actually have to um get their truth out there in some way, or like broadcast their truth somehow, like literally set the record straight in some way. um yeah, they could have maybe just gave certain people like either the Queen of Cups or this karmic, they just kind of gave them like too much power or too much access in their lives, because of the way that they just like dove into this here, like I said, or just went all in. And so it's like forcing them into a position where they're going to have to like put something out there to like set the record straight here. So let's see what the karmic would say to you. Ooh, okay, way too many, Spirit. He is a good liar. I question half of what he says. So yeah, she could just be like always trying to figure something out, or like paranoid that he's like, she's like always trying to like figure something out or fight with him, and that could be creating a lot of this like, or she could just not believe him. Like she could know that he or she, it doesn't matter, but they could know that like they're still hung up on this here, and so then they try to call them out, and then this person tries to deny it, so then they go round and round, and then it's like the tension builds, the smoke kind of like gathers here. um he is still learning lessons with me. I feel like giving up on this with him. I know you put a spell on him. So yeah, they, if this other person is like waking up and realizing this isn't working out for them, or they're starting to pull back, or they're starting to change, or like they're being forced into this position where they're going to have to realize what is and is not working out for them, right? The karmic is definitely like, yeah, even if they're getting kind of unsatisfied and not thinking it's going to work for them either, it's like they really want to blame you. For sure. They like are really thinking that it's like your fault here, or they're going to try to find some way to like blame the situation on you. Even if they don't believe in spell work, they're just going to be like, "Oh, they're going to think that it was like something that you did here, some sort of influence of yours that caused this other person to like suddenly switch up, rather than realizing it's like this is how they always felt and they were just kind of like trying to force it here because someone else was like emotionally um, influencing them to feel like they should, or if they just like went all into it, that there would be like some sort of change within them, and it's actually having the opposite effect. So they're actually kind of like waking up here and realizing like a myriad of things. And yeah, I feel like the karmic's probably just going to feel really thrown off and shocked by this. So they're wanting, or they're going to like want to try to find a way to like blame you on the situation, or yeah, find some sort of fault within you here, rather than having to just like realize maybe the other person just like wasn't ready for it, or they just like dove into it the way that they did because they were being like emotionally influenced here, not necessarily because they just like really really cared, or had these like high desires for the karmic specifically, or they maybe didn't even know that much about them, or um, yeah, they just like dove into it in a certain type of way because they were being like influenced or manipulated by someone around them that was really close to them emotionally. Um, so that is really sad and unfortunate. I'm kind of curious. I want to ask the angel oracle cards if this person will reach out to you soon. This is just a really interesting reading, really interesting vibes. So we have take action, bottom of the deck. So this could be how they're feeling, like they need to take action, or it could be hoping that you take action. Ask for help from others. So they could be doing that too. Like they could be trying to seek out others, or like ask other people for like advice on what they should do here. We have if you believe, and not the right time. So I guess right now in this present time, they're not planning on like reaching out to you in any way or anything. But I really do feel like they're having a lot of like strong realizations, and this situation is really causing them to like wake up and like compare certain things back and forth, and have a lot of realizations about like what was their feelings and what was like other people's influence. And it's like they're really going back through here and like ruminating through all this stuff and having all these realizations, but they're almost kind of like fighting that because they're supposed to be focusing on this like new situation. But it's like the more they focus on that, the more it's triggering them to realize like all this stuff in the past. So where it's like certain things that fell apart, or like certain ways that things went, it's like they're realizing like I may not have even really felt that way, or that might not even be like a true emotional reaction to myself, or it may have been because of like someone else's influence making me feel that way, um, so that I would want to like move forward here. Yeah, because they're realizing this other person like put so much influence for them to kind of like start in this other direction, right? um, so it's such an interesting, yeah, it's like they know they shouldn't be focusing on that, so they try and focus on what they're supposed to be focusing on, but then that's creating so much like interesting energy around them that it's like inadvertently giving them all of these realizations about what really could have been going on here. And so then it's like this weird trippy like back and forth energy that they're in right now. So yeah, it's just like not the right time for them to reach out and say anything. I feel like they're definitely still like invested in this other situation, um or like involved here, and so they're still like in the process of like working it all out or putting things together here. um so yeah, very, very interesting reading. Thank you so much if you watched this far into the reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can click the link in my description. And I hope you have a really, really good night. Thank you.